Stanford vs Hawaii live stream and where to watch TV channel and odds and spread and prediction and pick. The 2025 college football season begins on Saturday with an intriguing slate of week 0 games. And among them is a matchup between Stanford in Hawaii and which will be the final game of the weekend before the page turns to week 1 next week. By the way, this will mark the fifth all-time and matchup between Stanford and Hawaii. And the first since the Cardinal opened the 2023 campaign with a 37-24 win over the Rainbow Warriors. The Rainbow Warriors. This past, by the way, of season for Stanford was rollercoaster, and the program, by the way, fired coach Troy Taylor in March after a university investigation. And that decision, by the way, was announced by Stanford General Manager Andrew Luck, who is a new, by the way, role with the school he called home during the early 2010 season. And Taylor, by the way, will be replaced this season by one of Luck's former coaches with the Indianapolis Colts, Frank Reich, and who is serving as Stanford interim coach for the 2025 campaign. That's fine. And by the way, Stanford hasn't won more than 4 games, by the way. 4 games since the 2018 campaign, which includes 4 consecutive 3-9 seasons. And as for Hawaii, the program hasn't exceeded the 6-win mark since coach Timmy Chang was hired in 2022. That's great news. And by the way, the Rainbow Warriors finished 5-7 during the 2024 season. And Stanford entering a new era, by the way. The 2025 season will look very different for Stanford. And the program here now, by the way, welcomes a new interim coach in Reich, and who most recently served as the coach of the Carolina Panthers in 2023. Reich has extensive experience as an assistant and position coach in the NFL. And by the way, but he has never coached at the college level. And Luck, by the way, the general manager, was also hired as the program's general manager last fall. And he will look to lead the charge in resurrecting and a once proud program for team at Hawaii. And since Chang, by the way, took over his alma mater in 2022, Hawaii has an 0-6 record against Power 4 programs, by the way. And Hawaii actually, by the way, last beat a Power 4 teams in 2019 season. And when the program, by the way, opened the season with back-to-back wins over Arizona and Oregon State. And at the time, were both members of the Pac-12. And Chang, by the way, has a 13-25 career record heading into his 4th season. And starting, by the way, the season off with a win over Stanford, and would be a great momentum, by the way, builder for the 2025 season. And keep an eye on the Stanford quarterback, Ben Gulp, Ranson, and Justin Lamson. Justin Lamson received, by the way, the bulk of the reps at quarterback last season, and Stanford will have a new signal, by the way, caller in 2025, insert Gilberson, and who transferred in this offseason after spending the previous 4 years at Oregon State. And he threw, by the way, for 943 yards and 4 touchdowns in his 4 appearances. And Gilberson, and notably, by the way, beat out former highly and touted recruit Elijah Brown for the starting job. And the both program, by the way, enter this game and season in desperate search of some positive momentum. And Stanford's, by the way, Powell game drought is approaching 7 years. And while Hawaii, by the way, is looking to take the next step under Chang to become Powell eligible for the first time in his coaching tenure at his alma mater. And Stanford, by the way, is 4-0 all-time against Hawaii. And Stanford covers and wins outright in Reich first game. With a top, by the way, game on the road against BYU, looming next month. And this is a game Stanford, by the way, has to win to take the next step. Thank you so much. Have a nice time and great day. Thank you.